what we realized is if you're a landscaper, you could use video. If you're an author, you might need to have a podcast. If you're a real estate agent, it might be valuable to turn that camera around. But there was no community for these people to learn all these things.
There's an editing process. There's a posting process. And by the way, the algorithm is screaming, hey, you got to post on me every day, you know, if you're going to create the attention to build your personal brand so you can represent the brand and create revenue out of that.
Get yourself to a Cre8tive Amped. It's free. Come. It's a once-a-month meetup. You're going to network with more people. You're going to get new LinkedIn connections, more Facebook connections, more followers.
Tell 'em.
You're going to be able to talk about your business.
Brings in creatives. It's 1 hour long. It doesn't cost anything. And you could come to that and meet.
It's a power hour too, man.
There's no easier time than now.
If that's not a good enough reason for you to turn the camera on and get on a mic, if you own a business. By the way, if you own a business, why are you not here right now? Well, we're back at it again. This is the Breaking Barriers podcast powered by S.O.A.R. I'm here once again with the one and only Brian P. Swift.
The Quadfather.
The Quadfather. Today we are here with an unbelievable gentleman. His name is Dominick, and he's putting on an amazing event that we're going to hear all about. By the way, if you haven't seen him on LinkedIn, I don't know, TV shows, multiple websites, multiple social media channels, I mean, conference calls, Zoom calls. I think I saw you walking down the sidewalk the other day. The guy's everywhere. Dominick, welcome to the show.
I'll deliver your paper for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Couldn't be happier to be here.
Well, we couldn't be happier that you're here. So the name of the podcast is Breaking Barriers. So I'm really, really curious. Some of the barriers that you had to break to put this show on. You've got how many people coming this weekend?
A couple hundred people come in, vendors from all over the world, speakers from all over the world. So we're super pumped about Cre8tive Con 2026.
That's amazing.
Year 3.
I'm curious, to put on an event like this, you obviously have to overcome a lot of adversity. There's a lot of planning, a lot of preparation. Just talk a little bit about the mindset that you have to get through some of that.
Well, one, I think it's about building a community and having a group of individuals and supporters around you that believe in you have a shared goal. So when it's June and you're in meetings every week, the whole year, and you're thinking, man, I can't do this. Having this team around you that encourage you, that bring new ideas, that's the juice. And then sometimes you get off that call where somebody brought a new idea and you're like, wow, this is going to be better than ever.
Yeah.
We're back.
So Dominick and I met years ago on actually a podcast that he was running.
Shocking.
I know. And Dominick is not just a podcaster. He publishes books. He runs a company called Motivation Champs. And he is just a man that brings people together, that motivates, and wants to make people happy. And in order to do that, sometimes you've got to get outside your comfort zone, and you've got to surround yourself with the right people. And we have just really formed a brotherhood over the years because we think alike, we have similar missions, and he has helped me so much. So thank you, Don.
Well, that was very nice. I mean, we should probably turn that into a clip. You could hold him accountable to remember what he just said.
That's fair.
He's getting out of line. You could just show him the clip, and he'll get right back in line.
That's fair, but I want to take it back. That, like, you can meet people online. You can have phone calls with them. I slept at Brian P. Swift's house, so thank you, Monica. So imagine this. Somebody he met on the internet.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, come meet me in Chicago. Now, my wife thought he was going to kill me, and I thought he was going to kill me, and I'm sure his family are like, what's this guy doing here? But it was good energy. We believed in each other, and it all worked out.
Well, you fully realize that was Monica, not Brian. Brian was arguing with Monica. She's like, come on, let's let him in. So you got to thank Monica for that one, I'm pretty sure.
I had to sleep in the wheelchair all night guarding the door so that nothing happened. But, I mean, it's brought us to this, which is, what's this? Cre8tive Con 26. It's the third year that Dominick, who is one of the thought leaders behind this Cre8tive Con, of bringing creatives, podcasts, people want a podcast, people want to write a book, people that, want a speaking career, people that they're creative, to come together and form a community that lasts more than just one event.
Yeah.
So Dominick and Julie are the brains and the start behind this Cre8tive Con. John and I met not quite a year ago, but John has been such an amazing person in my life, not just because of all the technology and all the knowledge you have behind putting on a podcast, but we talk a lot about life and family and so many other topics, and that's where my friendships usually go.
Yeah, it's super important that you align with people on multiple levels, and we definitely do that beyond the business relationship, which of course I'm very thankful for. I'm really curious, Dominic. You and Julie, there's a lot of planning, preparation. Like, give me your heart here a little bit. How's this filling you up? Because you're going to see a whole lot of people that are coming, and it's rooted in a foundation that you and Julie put together. So, one, I want to know how you feel about that. And then, two, I want to understand what the greater purpose is, what you're trying to achieve above and beyond just getting people together in a room to hear speakers.
Okay. Number one, when me and Julie first met, it was in the middle of the pandemic. And so everybody was isolated at the time. Yeah. Every person, every business, completely isolated. So we were in an online networking group, and we started talking, and we started building a relationship, started building communities. But then realizing as the pandemic was coming to an end, these people that had been locked up, they would love to meet these people that they've been talking to for 3 years.
Yeah.
They would love to collaborate with them. And we started thinking in real life. So Julie says IRL. And that was the next step. Could we take it and get everybody in one place and create an event online? Sure. But could we also create like an anchor event?
Yeah, there really is nothing like being in person, right?
Absolutely. And the place we all met was Clubhouse. That's still going, still a great forum, and we still support each other on Clubhouse because Dominic has his own Clubhouse show that's killing it called Not the Smartest Guys in the Room.
Yep.
And the nice thing about Clubhouse is it's a phone app, it's free. Yeah. And we met so many amazing people that reach out and actually not say, hey, I'll be there, I'll help you. If you need something, call me. They show up.
So you had a specific problem you were trying to solve. You have the malaise that people were in as it relates to networking and business coming out of COVID. I'm sure a lot of people were super excited to get back in person, but you also had a great part of the population that were maybe fearful, a little slow to it, or had kind of nestled into this, hey, I could just do it on Zoom. Yeah. And you and I both know the content is amazing, but there is nothing like transferring energy in person. So talk to me a little bit about the greater purpose and how you were trying to bring people back together.
Okay. Multiple things on that. As I'm a publisher of books, Julie was a publicist. Our relationship came from different areas, different scopes of business. So what we realized is if you're a landscaper, you could use video. If you're an author, you might need to have a podcast. If you're a podcaster, you might need to use the written word. If you're a real estate agent, it might be valuable to turn that camera around. But there was no community for these people to learn all these things. Like people were in silos. Well, I'm an author. I'm a real estate agent. And so this community,
you're nothing unless you can sell it.
There you go.
So you just have a hobby. Until you can take that and generate revenue. And by the way, there's something called safety in numbers. So you better be talking to a lot of people to find your clan, to find your group that are going to buy from you. To your point, if I was an auto repair shop, I would have a GoPro on 24/7, and I would have somebody with a mic just going, hey, I'm going to fix a car battery today. That's a 3-minute clip that you could put some paid ads behind, turn into a commercial, and absolutely dominate Facebook in your community. And all of a sudden, you might see your sales go up by 10% because you might have taught me how to fix a car battery, but I ain't doing it. I'm going to come see you.
So true. Yeah, you will meet so many people. Like I have a buddy that's Galaxy Dent Wizard. All of a sudden, he's making videos of him spraying the car.
Yeah.
Or you might meet somebody that was in construction that started doing videos. Now they're no longer in construction. They're making $1 million living from the videos. So transferable skills.
Now you're going to talk this weekend, right? You're going to get up on stage.
Yeah, I'm going to jump up there for a little bit.
You're going to jump up there on stage.
Briefly.
So Brian, you're a speaker. So 9 books. How many books have you written?
About 5 or so.
All right, so we got 14 books. I have a coloring book that I'm almost done with. And damn it, those lines. I just cannot stay within them. But 14 books here, constant content going out. But there is something about getting on stage and having 200 eyeballs staring back at you and having that conversation. So I'm curious how you break that barrier of maybe imposter syndrome, maybe that knot in your throat, you know, that makes it a little difficult to get those first few sentences out, and then you get into the flow. So how do you guys approach that with a growth mindset?
I'll start it out. I mean, there's no easier time than now. Years ago, you didn't have a chance to do a Zoom video. So if you're shy, start getting on Zoom videos. Start doing Zoom videos. It is the next step to be seen and to get better at this speaking craft. Record yourself speaking.
Yeah.
Watch the recording. Watch the recording with the sound on. Watch the recording with the sound off. Then watch it and just take notes of your actions. So I would tell people, get on more Zooms, do Zooms, and then take it to small steps. And you know what? Tell stories from the heart, and you never will have to worry about missing a word in a script or your notes. Make it from the heart. Dominic.
So interesting, because you're absolutely right. When you have a passion about something, it's easy to communicate it. But when you're up there kind of winging it, and maybe it's something you're talking about that you aren't passionate about, that bleeds through. So I'm curious how you deal with that.
I love all the points Brian made, and I'll take it a different direction.
Sure.
I think being 100% authentically yourself. So I say this, and I've said it over and over. All I can be is the best me I can be. I'm Dominick Domasky from Pittsburgh with this hoarse voice. If I try to be anybody else, I'll fail miserably.
Yeah.
But if I am me, that's it. Nobody
You
else
should
can
be good
me.
at that by
Yeah,
now.
I'm pretty good at being me. I suck at being you and Brian.
Yeah.
But I'm all right at being me. So I think, like you mentioned, the imposter syndrome. Of course, if I try to be you, I'm not as good looking as you two guys. But if I try to be me, I'll do all right. So.
All right, so I'm going to sign you up for a cataract surgery because apparently you've got a sight problem. So I don't know if anyone knows a doctor. Do you ever get tired of yourself? And here's the reason we're all content creators. So there's an editing process, there's a posting process, and by the way, the algorithm is screaming, hey, you gotta post on me every day, you know, if you're gonna create the attention to build your personal brand so you can represent the brand and create revenue out of that, right? And that's what it's always about. Don't kid yourself. If you're creating revenue for any other reason, I don't know what you're doing. It's an end, there's an end game there, right? Do you get tired of yourself?
Great question. And even you can like go back in this and ding, ding, ding. I hate when I say, you know. I hate when I say gonna, wanna. So when I'm editing a video and I say gonna, wanna, you know, I'm like,
Oh yeah, the blood boils, doesn't it?
Yes.
I got the same thing. I say on a daily basis, probably 1,000 times a week, and I hate the term, but I cannot shake it. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
So we're all trying to get better. When you do it, getting up there to Brian's point earlier, 30 seconds. Can I do 30 seconds? Can I do 60 seconds? Can I do 90? Can I turn that phone around and do 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90?
Yeah.
Can I do that? Okay. If you want to speak on that stage or that stage, you have to be able to do 30 seconds
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
People are like, oh, I'm going to go be a professional speaker. And they can't do 30 seconds. They never did 30 seconds. So yes, I get sick of myself, but I think it's always about practicing, trying new material, doing the reps, and then the results pay off.
This is for both of you. Has creating content, being on camera, talking into a phone, practicing in the way that you have, has it made you a better author? Has it made you a better speaker? Has it made you a better salesperson, a better recruiter, a better manager, a better leader? What are some of the benefits that you've found beyond just getting constant communication to the marketplace and grabbing awareness and attention? What other elements has it been a benefit for?
Well, I believe that it forces you to do self-reflection. And self-reflection is one of the best ways to improve as a person.
Yeah.
And if I improve, to Dominick's point, Brian Swift in an authentic manner, I will be a better father. I will be a better leader. I will be a better coach. I will be a better speaker. So I believe that it causes you to do self-reflection, which everybody should be doing. I don't care what field you're in. And then apply those reflective thoughts to make yourself better, which will make you better at everything you do. What do you think, Dom?
Great answer. So I'll just piggyback on the self-awareness. By you're putting yourself out there. When you open yourself up to the world, people are going to comment. People are going to say hurtful things. People are going to say your head's big, your hair looks dumb, your shirt looked dumb, you were slouching. I get all that.
You read my comments, huh?
So, but listening to them and understanding the feedback you're giving me, you could be right.
Yeah.
And listening doesn't mean I'm going to take the advice, but I'm going to listen. I'm going to be self-aware and say, Brian said this. Well, I really don't care what Brian said. Or, hey, well, yeah, that's a good tip, and now I'm going to set up straighter or not say gonna or wanna or whatever.
So putting the content out there has made you tougher in a sense, mentally tough, but it's also helped to put a little polish on all the other things that you do. If that's not a good enough reason for you to turn the camera on and get on a mic, if you own a business, and by the way, if you own a business, why are you not here right now? So maybe you need to look into this to make sure that you're at the next one. Dom, I really, really am interested in what you want the outcome of this event to be. Like what would be your BHAG, right? Your big, hairy, audacious goal. And on top of that, what would be the thing where you're driving home, you're by yourself, you're in the car, you're reflecting, and you just kind of got that twinkle in your eye and a big smile. Yeah, you just kind of, let's go. Like, what's going to make you feel like that?
Okay. Well, I like that you read your Good to Great with the BHAG. And for me, I think seeing somebody that maybe hadn't stepped out of their comfort zone yet.
Yeah.
And seeing that person, maybe the light goes on, and now I'm seeing them have a conversation, and they have a great idea, a great story, and now they're making these other, they're networking, planting these seeds, and then watching them blow up, watching them do the work, and knowing that maybe the seed was planted here and they're reaping the harvest later, and maybe they'll bring me on their coattails like Brian.
No, not hardly. But we also have created, we don't want this to be a weekend event where you go to an event and you leave. So we also have created a monthly event called AMPED.
Yeah.
That brings in creatives. It's 1 hour long. It's every month, typically on a Wednesday. It doesn't cost anything. And you could come to that and meet.
It's a power hour too, man.
Absolutely. That's our goal. So we don't want this to end. So they have committed to this amped 1 hour meet and greet and power hour every year. So we could transfer this energy throughout the year.
So if you've listened closely to the answers by both Brian and Dominick, they're coming from a place of giving. There's a reciprocity foundation that both you have. You're both givers. You're both stewards. You're both trying to move people, all right, and to create impact. Where does that come from? Because that is not innate for everybody. Where does that come from? Somebody in your life rubbed off on you. Maybe it's the good Lord upstairs. Maybe it's a father, an uncle. Somebody rubbed off on you and you said, you know what, I want to be like them. Who would be that impactful person in your life if you had to narrow it down to one? Maybe you give me three.
I've met Brian's parents, so I'll start with Brian. Go on.
Oh, boy. Yeah, it's ingrained for me from being a kid on up, growing up with grandparents and not having to serve them, wanting to serve them. And after breaking my neck, being so blessed to have the life I have is nothing short, maybe, of a miracle. Being married 36 years to an amazing woman.
That's definitely a miracle. I've met Monica. That's absolutely a miracle.
I mean, a quad lifestyle is not easy. And you talk about breaking barriers every day, not just for me, not just for my wife, also my 3 kids.
Yeah.
And I believe I have totally been blessed. And I think that in order to continue being blessed, you have to give back.
You have to give blessings.
There's just, you have to give to get. I mean, it's just truly that simple. And it's not the chicken or egg for me.
But you do it with no expectations, though.
Yeah.
So that's the thing is, like, a lot of people give, but they give with an expectation. That's not really giving, right? That's negotiating. Like, you're giving without expectation. If it comes back to you, the universe worked beautiful. But it's more about how it makes you feel that you're doing those things, right?
It's selfish because here, if I have expectations, I'm going to be let down.
Yeah.
I guarantee.
Isn't that the truth?
I don't care who you're working with, family, your best friend. If your expectations are too high, you're going to be let down. If you do something for somebody with no expectations, you get just full of gratitude and joy and happiness, and I guarantee it comes back tenfold.
All right, Dom, we're on a tight timeline because you got a show that you have to run and get out to. So we've got 1 minute to go here. I want you to answer the question we asked her that we just asked. Who impacted you? And then I got one more question. I want you to close her down.
Oh, yeah, okay, coming in strong. And I thought when you asked the question, you were almost trying to make me and Brian cry. So thank you.
Yeah, you know, I do my best. I'm kind of like Barbara Walters and Oprah combined.
Cue sappy music.
Yeah,
So,
they call me Barbara.
Bad.
I was blessed to have two polar opposite parents. My dad had been in the Army when he was younger, and he had 9 brothers and sisters.
Good
and came
Lord.
from extreme poverty, and became a landscaper, owns his own company, and worked so hard, and fearless, aggressively, angrily, and we didn't laugh at my house. Dad worked hard, and we admired him, and he's larger than life to me, and still is. And my mom was so kind and so caring. And when I had big teeth that stuck out of my mouth and a big gut, my mom told me how handsome and smart I was. When I was in special speech class, my mom told me how well I spoke and all these things like that. So I'm grateful for these two parents that gave me these gifts and this courage and the strength. And so now I feel that I have a duty to repay everybody I can, and the people that didn't have those kind of parents, I want to be there for them. The people that are disenfranchised, I want to be there for them. If they were left behind, I want to be there for them. And that's because my mom and dad were there for me no matter what dumb shit I did or how weird I was, they were there for me. So that's my answer.
If you're not moved, you might need to pinch yourself. You might not be awake. All right, final question, okay? Breaking Barriers is the podcast. I want you to give us the biggest barrier that you have broken. What if you looked back, and you're allowed to do this for a second, be proud of yourself, because everything that you've done has been very humble on this podcast so far. You've given it to everyone else, and it's a beautiful thing. But I want you to now dig deep and tell me and Brian the biggest barrier that you've broken, and it's given you such a sense of pride and helped you to shoot to the moon.
Okay, I'm going to go two-phase on this. Later on tonight, I'm going to mention this a little bit. When I was like 25, I went broke and lost $500,000. And that's life, that happens. But that's not the biggest barrier. That's just part of life, part of business. The barrier was I hid in the corporate world for about 15 years afterwards, 16, 17, 18 years. And it broke my heart to hide in the corporate world. I made money. I partied in rooftop bars in Miami. I worked in pharmaceuticals, all these jobs. I hated every second of it.
Yeah.
If I got an award and I sit on stage, I thought, I didn't want to do this. I want to be helping people share their stories. I want to be writing books. I want to be on a podcast. But I hid in the corporate world. And it took so long for me to make the leap again. 19 years, right? Or something like that. And it was eating my soul. And so I made my wife go broke, 25 years before. So I didn't have the guts. But when it came to the moment where I could finally make that leap and just telling myself, okay, it's time. You're ready. And that was the biggest barrier.
Did you hear Mom in your head? Because Mom had been building you up so much and kind of telling you what you were before you were that. So she almost was dangling the carrot, like, you might not be that, but I'm going to convince you that you are, so you come and grab that carrot. Did you have that feeling as you were making the big jump into an entrepreneurial journey? Was that in your heart, in your mind?
I think what was in my mind is I knew for me, for my life, I didn't want to be on my deathbed and say, I wish I would have.
Yeah.
And that regret was like eating
You
at
used
me.
it as fuel.
Yeah, and I almost like an ulcer growing inside of me. Every day I didn't go for it. I knew I wasn't being true to my, I'm telling you guys, be authentic. Hey.
Yeah.
But I wasn't. I was lying to myself.
Like living a lie, yeah.
I was living to my lies.
Maybe that's why they had to take out your gallbladder.
Maybe so, right here.
Well, here you are now. We're very happy for you, first off. Both of you, outstanding that you've put this together. You're bringing people together. You're multipliers. right? And that's the key to an effective person in business. Don't just be as good as you can. Bring people with you. That's what it's all about, and that's what you guys are living out. Dom, how do people find you?
Okay, you can find me, Motivation Champs everywhere, Cre8tive Con everywhere. Get yourself to a Creative Amped. It's free. Come. It's a once-a-month meetup. You're going to network with more people. You're going to get new LinkedIn connections, more Facebook connections, more followers.
Tell 'em.
You're going to be able to talk about your business. It's every month. That's Creative Amp. And then get yourself on the calendar, and we want to see you at the next Cre8tive Con. So hopefully we see you.
That has been Dominick. That is Brian P. Swift. He is the Quad Father, and I am John Morris. Thanks for tuning in. You know what it is.